Do you yearn for a nice, peaceful experience when playing video games? You sit down for a gaming session after a long day at work, just want to escape to a quiet and cozy game. Well, this is the perfect game for you, and it totally doesn't evolve into an absolutely chaotic mess the further that we progress into it. All joking aside, welcome back to I-100%, a series in which I find a game that looks interesting to me and then I complete every achievement available. On this episode of I-100%, we are playing the game Shelldiver. This is a cozy resource management type game that was released in late 2025. The game relies on an incremental progression-based system that allows us to slowly upgrade our abilities and tools in order for us to eventually dive deeper and deeper underwater. To show you a quick example of how things progress in this game, this is a clip from me playing for about 20 minutes. And this is a clip about 3 hours in. I don't know if you caught that, but there is a little bit of a difference. Well, with the intro out of the way, let's dive right into the gameplay. We start off the game waking up from a nice nap in our run-down, turtley village. Just based off of the condition of these homes, it's clear we have our work cut out for us. We start off by strolling around the island and eventually unlocking our submarine. It's our only form of transportation to help us dive to our desired locations to fish. The screen that you see here is the skill tree, and we will be revisiting this many times throughout our playthrough to upgrade ourselves. We waste no time and embark on our first mission to the ocean shallows, at 100 meters in depth, granting us our first achievement, 100 meter depth. Once there, we can shoot our bubble gun to damage the jellyfish that are swimming around us. When we hit them with enough bubbles, they get captured within the bubble and are added to our inventory. After resurfacing, we make our way to the shop to profit off of our fresh catch. There is a small progression bar shown above the shop to display how much longer our jellyfish will take to sell, and this is the only way to get the currency shells in this game, essentially our money. The chest next to the shop holds our profit, and we can grab what we want and then upgrade our skill tree with these funds. On our first go, we upgrade our inventory so we can carry more jellyfish and also unlock the plasma gun, because it sounds pretty damn cool and I'm interested to see what it can do for us. On our next dive down, we discover that the plasma gun is specifically for breaking the debris that floats around us, and it gives us another currency that looks like scrap. In the process of farming scrap and fishing for jellyfish, our oxygen level hits 0, and we end up losing all of the resources that we just picked up. Managing our oxygen level while exploring underwater is one of the main limiting factors in this game. But with time and resources, we will eventually upgrade ourselves enough to withstand even the deepest of waters. After spending a bit more time collecting, and with this new resource in hand, along with a few extra jellyfish that we caught, we return to the surface to find even more advanced upgrades waiting for us. When checking out the skill tree, we can spend shells to upgrade bubble damage, allowing us to capture jellyfish way quicker. At the cost of the new scrap that was just found, we can upgrade the worth of our jellyfish by 20%. And just like that, we have started the endless loop of what this game is all about. We head down to fish and collect scrap. Once we have filled our storage, return to the surface to sell to the shop, then use the resources that we collected to upgrade our skills in the skill tree. At the very top of the screen in the skill tree, we can also see it says Prestige 1, and below it, a progress bar. Once enough skills have been upgraded, in this case 50, Prestige 1 will be completed and Prestige 2 will be unlocked. The purpose of the Prestige is that with every increase in level, we gain access to a new depth to explore. The 50 out of 50 mark is quickly reached in the skill tree, and that means the 200 meter depth location has now been unlocked. It's important to note that with each increase in depth, it also changes the jellyfish present, as well as the scrap. Because the game is all about incremental level ups, every jellyfish that we see deeper and deeper will be more difficult to capture. The benefit, of course, being that they will be worth significantly more money than the jellyfish above us on the shallower layers. The scrap also shows up in larger sizes, being harder to destroy but yielding more scrap once broken. One of the biggest changes with the depths is that due to the increase in pressure, our oxygen level depletes way quicker. In quite a few instances, it took me by surprise because I didn't expect to run out of air so quickly. I thought I'd have more time. The trick is, once you reach a new depth, it's better to stick close to your submarine on your expeditions. Once enough money and scrap is collected and you have upgraded your oxygen supply in the skill tree, you can most likely very safely venture out a bit further from the submarine to explore the biome. Along with the upgrades for oxygen, bubble damage, values of jellyfish, there are so many other upgrades we can choose from. For example, we can find skills that upgrade movement speed, bubble projectile speed, reload speed, ammunition for bubble and plasma gun, damage for our plasma gun, range for our plasma gun. The list goes on and on for what you can select, and it's amazing how expansive the skill tree is, allowing you to customize your playthrough exactly how you want it to be. After many trips down for resources, we upgrade ourselves to yet another Prestige. Prestige 3 allows us to reach depth 300 meters in the ocean shallows, while also revealing to us that there are 3 other locations we can visit, all having their own 3 separate depths to explore. Seeing those other locations got me pretty pumped to see what lay in store for us, so I powered through the resource gathering to speed us through the next location. Luckily for us, I'd been heavily prioritizing bubble damage and laser damage, so the jellyfish in area 300 meters were easy pickings. While looking at the skill tree, I noticed that there was an upgrade to spawn silver jellyfish at a rate of 3%. Silver jellyfish are a rare variety of jellyfish that are worth significantly more than that of their regular counterpart. They are quite a bit harder to capture though, so we have to be prepared to lock them down when we are lucky enough to encounter them. We quickly gain access to glacial depths and dive down to the 400 meter mark, granting us our next achievement, 400 meter depth. With us now being in a new area, we of course have to deal with quicker depleting oxygen levels, jellyfish that are tougher to capture, and a new form of debris that are called crystal blocks. These resources will be used to upgrade skills from the tree instead of the scrap from the previous area. Due to it being quite difficult off the hop to collect resources in this new area, we backtrack to ocean shallows for some easy jellyfish captures. We can capture a bunch of these very quickly to hopefully upgrade our abilities, allowing us to have an easier time in the glacial depths. Once we get some decent upgrades to our laser, we prioritize breaking a bunch of crystal blocks. The chain lighting upgrade that we acquired, along with some buffs to laser damage, allows us to quickly chip away at these blocks. With the large amount of crystal blocks acquired, we upgrade the damage for our bubble gun and move to glacial depths 500. The unique properties of the new jellyfish at the 500 meter section is that they all tend to run away from you. With a few more upgrades, the jellyfish can try as hard as they can to get away, but we're too strong for them. The skill, submarine storage, is then purchased, allowing us to catch jellyfish and temporarily store them before heading back to the surface. It effectively extends our inventory, but you have to move towards the storage bin and interact with it manually. Along with the extra storage, an important upgrade was the plasma overflow upgrade, granting us a chance for the debris to explode, dealing damage to other debris piles. The intended use is for a huge chain reaction to allow for easier resource collecting. Also, while we're up here, we can't forget that we waved hi to a turtle friend for our third achievement, Make a Friend. Similar to the silver jellyfish upgrade we picked up earlier, we unlock the golden jellyfish with a 1.5% chance to spawn. These are extremely valuable but are even tougher to capture than the silver variants. But regardless of how hard they are to capture, it is absolutely worth the effort because they are worth so much. Now, being in the 600 meter depth section, not even 2 minutes after purchasing this upgrade, we encounter one instantly. Without skipping a beat, we swim over to it and add it to the stash. Funnily enough, 2 more gold jellyfish spawn out of thin air, and I'm beginning to think we won the jackpot. Due to them being too spaced out though, I opted to just safely capture the one instead of juggling between the two of them. And to add a little icing on top of that cake, I was an idiot and stayed way too far away from the submarine and drowned, losing one of the 2 gold jellyfish. To stop the chances of losing the other gold jellyfish, it was just a safer option to stick really close to the submarine and pick up what came to us instead. We scored a silver jellyfish while waiting near the sub, so it seemed to work quite well. Hopping back up to the surface, we then end up selling the gold jellyfish for a whopping $1 million, or 1 million shells, and the silver one for just under half that, also gaining our next achievement, reach 1 million shells. It stung a little bit knowing I could have had a crisp $2 million right now, but lost it due to stupidity, but it is what it is. Anyway, the next depth level is unlocked, but before going down there, we took a quick stroll around the island to see how it has vastly improved from our initial arrival. It actually seems to be inhabited by other turtles now, and the buildings have started to look in better shape as well. Some other cool upgrades we got was the ability to access the skill tree anywhere on the island just by pressing the W key, a small starfish that shoots bubbles and can be upgraded to deal more damage and have more starfish scattered around, and the most important of all these upgrades is the submarine bubble upgrade. This upgrade alone is absolutely busted. While near the submarine, refill oxygen. That's it. We can sit underwater indefinitely as long as we are near the submarine. This is a game changer. The next trip down, we already can take on the new area of swamp waters, 700 meter depth, unlocking the next achievement as well. This area's version of scrap and crystals is mushrooms. Effectively the exact same thing, but it just has more durability and will be used for more expensive upgrades. The jellyfish of this biome also have a unique property that makes them split into 2 smaller versions of themselves. Once we burst the big jellyfish, we have to capture the small ones again. Now that we're in this next area, the amount of money we're getting is skyrocketing. That's the cool thing with this incremental progression games. In the beginning of the game, you're spending 1,000 points to upgrade something and think to yourself, wow, that's kind of expensive. And then an hour later, you're sitting on $30 million and it's still not enough for the next upgrade. Now, similar to the starfish upgrade, we can unlock puffles. Puffles are another upgrade that places a friendly fish in the level to help us out, and they look like pufferfish. These puffles can be upgraded, and their sole purpose is for you to shoot them, and then they explode. When they explode, they let out a huge burst that increases the capture progression of all the jellyfish around them. If it's a weak jellyfish, it can be captured almost instantly. But if it's tough, like a gold jellyfish, it will do a good chunk of progress, but we have to finish off the rest. Now, in Swamp Water's 800 meter depth, it's very similar to 700 meter depth. There is the addition of the yellow splitting jellyfish, and these can split into 3 instead of 2, compared to the red. Although being more difficult to capture, the yellows were still attainable due to us being able to refill our oxygen effortlessly with the submarine bubble upgrade. Just as quickly as we entered the 800 meter depth, we left and head down to 900 meter depth. This area once again adds another variant that can split into 4 jellyfish. But with our oxygen bubble, we don't have a care in the world. We capture whatever dares come close to us, while being comfortable near our submarine, and collecting as many mushrooms as we can utilizing our chain laser attacks. We rack up some serious dough doing this for about 10 minutes and collect enough to unlock the 0.5% chance to encounter the rainbow jellyfish, the most expensive and elusive jellyfish variant in the game. After that, we top up every other upgrade we can with the remainder of our resources and get right back into the farming. Our next trip down is very successful, and once we sell everything, we can afford to buy the Jellyfish Transmutator, as well as saving up enough to trigger the 6th achievement, reach 1 billion shells. The Transmutator is an extremely useful station, as we can place regular jellyfish in here and it turns them into their silver variant, drastically increasing their value. We keep this ball rolling, and now we're in the final area, Magma Abyss. Leaving behind the mushrooms of the swamp, we are now at the 1000 meter depth level, granting us the next achievement, 1000 meter depth. This area is home to the final resource variant that we can collect, obsidian from obsidian blocks. These, of course, being the final resource, are spent on the very powerful upgrades available to us in the skill tree. On the other hand, the jellyfish in this region are nowhere near as friendly as the rest of the jellyfish we have encountered prior to. These jellyfish intermittently fire off a burst of electrical energy, and if we're too close when they go off, we lose a portion of our oxygen reserve. Although they can be a pain, they are just worth so much dang money that I don't mind the threat at all. And if we are lucky enough to find a silver, gold, or rainbow variant of these jellyfish, I will be very happy. Also now, the great thing about this transmutator that we have next to the shop is that it just skyrockets the value of these little guys. And due to our upgrades, the transmutator can now automatically send the upgraded fish straight into the store, allowing us to completely avoid having to interact with it. After selling all these valuable little buggers, we save up to just over $1.5 trillion, granting us the achievement, reach 1 trillion shells. Hard to believe that we have this much money saved up in only 2 hours. I think I need to get into the jellyfish selling business. We use these funds to purchase submarine bubble level 2. When inside the bubble, we recharge our bubble and plasma tank. This just makes us completely unstoppable next to the sub. We have so many crazy upgrades at this point, but the only thing holding us back is our inventory for jellyfish. Luckily on this trip down, we do step away from the sub for just a little stroll, and holy cow, we found a rainbow jellyfish. That's another achievement right there, ultra special rainbow jellyfish. Our damage upgrades are so high at this point too that it didn't even take that much time to capture. My curiosity got the better of me and I had to find out how much it was worth right away. So back to the surface we go. At this point, the regular jellies are about $4 billion each, silver being 40 billion, gold roughly around 100 billion, and the rainbow, 400 billion. Oh lordy, that is a beautiful sight. With all this money, we upgrade some of the endgame skills and unlock the Robot Ally skill, a friendly robotic seahorse that aids you in damaging debris piles. Now at this point in the game, we are fully kitted out. We literally cannot die underwater and we can safely dive down. Very quickly collect our resources and hop back up. We rinse and repeat this process for 30 minutes, and in the process upgrade the value of our jellyfish, bubble damage, debris damage, automation speed with the shop and the transmutator, increase spawn rates of jellyfish and debris, oxygen levels, and the list goes on and on. The final workstation we purchase is called the Alchemy Station. This station creates life vials, another currency that is strictly used for endgame upgrades. Similar to the other stations, this one can be upgraded to increase its output speed, and also upgraded to output more than 1 vial per cycle. The cost for 1 vial is also $100 trillion, so definitely nothing to scoff at. We don't need to prioritize making life vials quite yet, but we'll get to it very soon. On our next descent, we reach the absolute depth of Shelldiver, which is 1200 meter depth. This location has jellyfish that are significantly harder to capture than that of the previous 2 locations. Despite us having a bunch of upgrades, we are still lacking in the damage department. A few jellyfish do get captured, but it's not consistent. I decide to hop back into the 1100 meter depth area just to quickly gather more resources and prepare ourselves better for the 1200 meter depth. Once we have grinded our skills up enough, our next dive into 1200 meter depth is an absolute tear. The obsidian practically melts all around us and we can collect so much without a care in the world. The obsidian steamrolls us into an insane amount of progression because our bubbles can capture jellyfish extremely quick now. Since we are running out of skills to upgrade with the shells, all of them are now dumped into the alchemy machine to create life vials. Once we have the life vials, I decide to use it on the upgrade to increase plasma damage by 999,999%, just to make our obsidian collecting even more seamless. After upgrading that though, we are introduced to the achievement that is labeled with 3 question marks, and has no reward listed underneath it and asking for 150,000 mushrooms. Another skill then pops up requesting 10,000 scrap, which is a resource not used since the first area. These seemed easy enough to purchase, so we decided to tackle the 10k scrap one first. But before returning to our next dive, we upgrade our bubble damage to 999,999% and the shell chest with the life vial to allow us to use the funds from the chest anywhere, no longer requiring us to manually withdraw from it. Since I figured we could bang this out quickly because they weren't asking for much, we took a quick trip to Area 1 for scrap, collected what we needed and purchased the skill, and it did nothing. We'll leave the mushroom one for later then. Some more trips down to the abyss netted us an insane amount of money at ridiculous speeds. All of our money is now going into life files to finish off the skill tree, which, if you haven't noticed yet, is just a great big star. At the top of the skill star, branching off the life files upgrade, we have a similar skill that has 3 question marks, but it's requesting 100 life files. This is way too expensive for us right now, so our priorities lie with upgrading the speed of our operation before dumping all of our hard-earned life files into something we don't fully understand. A few more trips later, we have reached enough vials to upgrade the shell slot capacity, which allows us to upgrade each slot from 16 to 99. This drastically increases how many jellyfish we can haul up per trip, so we know we're in the end game here. While we're basking in our riches, we get the notification for our achievement, reach 1 quadrillion shells. And since we have a crazy amount of obsidian, we also upgrade the mystery skill with the 3 question marks that require obsidian. To finish off the mushroom skill that wants 150k, we take a quick trip to swamp waters and obliterate their mushroom population. Then a quick trip to glacial depths to crush all the crystal blocks for a total of 100,000 crystals. And for the finale, we have the 100 life files required to complete the skill perched on the very top of the skill star. All this is shells going into the alchemy machine for life files. That means we can dive into the depths of the magma abyss and absolutely go to town on them jellies. I'm talking sitting in the middle of this open abyss and just letting go with this Gatling gun of a bubble weapon. The jellies cower in fear as we are able to capture them from over 2 screens away. The speed in which we transmutate and sell the jellies is so incredibly fast that we've attracted hundreds of turtle tourists from around the world to visit our small island. We do a dance in front of our followers to display that we are the alpha turtle amongst them, and with one final purchase we click on the mystery 100 vial skill. A new path opens up that leads to the very center of the star. And we need more money. 10 quadrillion to be exact. Alright, quick detour to the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean. We stand in the middle and fire thousands of lethal bubbles around, yada yada yada, and there we go, 10 quadrillion shells. We walk over to our nice and comfortable hammock and spend our hard-earned 10 quadrillion shells. After working our shell off capturing jellyfish and plundering the depths of the abyss, we take a well-deserved nap on this comfy hammock, granting us these final 3 achievements in the process. Built to dive, hammock sleep, and cleared island. As the camera pans, it shows what the town was like when we first started our journey, and it really displays how far we've come. With that last task out of the way, we have completed the game, Shelldiver, and finished every achievement along the way. I hope you enjoyed this episode of I100% because I know I did. If you really want to show you liked it, please feel free to comment down below or toss me a like or a subscribe, whatever you're in the mood for. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.